Hello, all my VIPs. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a screen recording talking about how Deck 9 has lost their fucking minds. Okay, if you don't already know, Deck 9, Square Enix, Don't Nod, they all have a hand in the Life is Strange community. Life is Strange is an episodic decision-making game, action adventure, if you will. There are like 5 games in this series. It started back in 2015 with the first Life is Strange, following Max Caulfield, who discovered she has the power to manipulate time, aka reverse time. She can even go through other timelines. Square Enix and Don't Nod were responsible for Life is Strange 1 and Life is Strange 2. However, afterwards, I think they broke off their deal. I know they basically broke off a deal, and Don't Nod basically separated from Square Enix, and then Deck 9 came along, and then yeah, I'm not telling it fully correctly. I mean, it's been so long. I'm just going off of memory here. I just really wanted to talk about this, but that's the gist of it. Hold on. That's the gist of it. I mean, Don't Nod, very much responsible for Life is Strange 1, Life is Strange 2, the art behind it, everything. Square Enix is the company. It has a multitude of games underneath that company, not just Life is Strange and stuff like that. Deck 9 came along and was responsible for Reunion. That was one where it continued Max Caulfield's story as well as other people's stories. I think Reunion is actually different from the others. That's where they bring back certain characters like Max Caulfield, Chloe, and everything like that. This though, the fandom is pissed. Ooh, child, and I'm part of that fandom. So yeah, I'm pissed the hell off. We're specifically mad about Life is Strange 2. Life is Strange 2 is different from Life is Strange 1. There are 4 endings to Life is Strange 2 versus Life is Strange 1, which has 1 ending. It follows the story of 2 brothers who are on the run from the law after their father is fatally killed by a cop. The younger of the 2 brothers developed powers once the father was killed and ended up accidentally killing the father, and not killing the father, accidentally ended up killing the cop. Sorry, there's people outside my door right now speaking loud as fuck. Okay, let me calm down. Just speaking so loud and it's interrupting, but it's okay. Yes, the younger of the 2 brothers has powers, telekinesis, if you will. He is one of the reasons they had to go on the run. That is my theory. I actually think it's literally the truth, honestly. Otherwise, you could say that the eldest brother panicked and that's why he ran away. But there's more to it. I was going to make a full video about it, and I still am. I just have to have time because college is kicking my butt. Oh my god. If you hear somebody in the background, somebody speaking loud as hell, having a whole conversation literally in front of my dorm, pisses me off. I know it's because it's near the stairs, but like, bitch, damn, can you not? Like, it's annoying. But anyways, let's talk about this real quick. This person showed that in the recent game, they low-key, quote unquote, canonized one of the endings for Life is Strange 2. Life is Strange 2 has 4 endings, like I said. It doesn't really have a canon ending. All the endings are very sad, depressing. I don't like any of them. No, I actually like all of them in some way, shape, or form. Even the worst ending, which is Redemption. But some people say Lone Wolf is the worst ending. Babes, Lone Wolf and Redemption are forever going to be fighting for that spot of which is the worst ending. But yeah, this one basically low-key confirms it, quote unquote. The ending where the 2 brothers go to Mexico are Blood Brothers and Lone Wolf. Let's read this. In the Life is Strange Welcome to Caledon book, apparently Sophie and Diamond almost did find Daniel and Alex from Life is Strange 2 and Life is Strange True Colors. That is crazy. Now let's read specifically this portion right here. Let's see. Okay, so Diamond says, I've been researching mining disasters to see if there's any cases of mysterious rescues or people surviving stuff they shouldn't. Instead, I found this mining disaster in Colorado that turned out to be a sabotage. I spoke to someone who said the guy who did it confessed because this girl used empathy on him. Sophie, it's a nice town, but we found nothing. You know why? Because empathy isn't a power. I don't know. Try it and see what happens. Oh, sure. But first, I've heard this rumor about a guy named Huey Lewis who apparently has the power of love. Could be something. That was Alex. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's go into Telekinetic Crime Boss. This is where it had the whole of Life is Strange 2 fandom gagging. Bitch, we were mad. Bitch, I'm mad now. Anyway, Lee. Guy in bar says he's a guard at the Mexico border and that he once saw a couple of teens drive right through a police blockade. Said the cop cars were literally flying out of the way. Told me he still hears rumors about some big boogeyman running a cartel in Mexico. First of all, this is a rumor. I know that the fandom was mad as fuck saying like, oh, this is Deck 9's version of trying to confirm one of the endings to Life is Strange 2. Now, here's the thing. Reading is essential. I'm not mad at the fandom because I'm not going to hold you. You didn't have to include this. You know, I know this was a lazy way for them to confirm that some way, shape, or form, they remember Life is Strange 2 and they remember these characters. They wanted to just mention that they do remember Daniel and Sean. They wanted to mention that. However, them mentioning that this is a rumor and that most likely this is either the Blood Brothers or Lone Wolf ending. One, I don't think Life is Strange 2 was ever meant to have a confirmation. What's the word for it? I don't think that any of the endings were meant to be confirmed. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I don't think they were ever meant to be canonized. It's more so a glimpse into the future rather than a continuation. That's how I treated the endings, you know, because if I treat them like a continuation, I'm gonna lose my damn mind. The story ended when they either crossed the border or surrendered. So yeah. Okay, let's also really read this because, like I said, reading is essential. Why am I underlining that? A guard at the Mexico border says this. Not somebody who personally knows them. Now, if it was Lila, Sean's best friend, from the beginning of the game, if it was Lila Park that confirmed that, okay, now that's feeling rather canon. But this is coming from a guard from the Mexico border. That don't mean shit. Like, I don't think y'all realize that don't mean shit. That's a fucking rumor. We don't even know. Because the thing is, they said a couple of teens. One, Sean was 17. Daniel was 10. It wasn't a couple of goddamn teens. It was a child, bro. On top of that, it never says, it says cars were flying. Doesn't say the casualties, though. Like, there's just so much being left out here. Let's read the comments. This also is the bottom right segment suggesting that Blood Brothers is the canon Life is Strange 2 ending then? It seems vague, so you can't tell if it's Sean and Daniel or just one of them, but I definitely say it's at least confirming Redemption is not the canon. That's all they give a fuck about. Like I said, Redemption is the worst ending. That's all they care about. They said cop cars were literally flying out of the way. Seems very Daniel. Yeah. you know Daniel, he love, he'll never miss the chance to have a car flying. That seems very Daniel of him. They said the books are never canon. I don't have this new one yet, but the Blackwell Academy book went out of its way to stress its canon and doesn't canonize any ending of Life is Strange 1. Does this new one have any disclaimers? They said, no idea. I linked the source of this photo in this thread, but it'll probably be the same deal then. Oh, there's even more. Do I feel like reading that? No, I don't. Not again. I actually think it's Lone Wolf. Actually, you know what? Let me go back to that. See, I'm indecisive. Y'all can read it. I'll be quiet for a second. Y'all can read it. I'll even zoom in for y'all. Let's go to this one page. Go ahead and read it. Let's pause the video and read it. Okay. Here's the other side. Pause the video and read it. All right. There y'all go. Shit. Here now. No, just kidding. I actually think it's Lone Wolf. They're not in the cartel and Blood Brothers. They're mechanics who've had dealings with the cartel. Okay. Before I go any further, okay, just ignore this. I'm just going to talk for a moment and then I'm gonna read the response down there. Baby, The amount of times I've seen people say that the mechanic job, the entire thing of running Diaz repairs, is like a stand-in, kind of like a cover-up for their actual, like, quote-unquote crimes. Bro, the amount of people that said that have pissed me off because I can see it, but I can't see it at the same time. They do have a vault full of money, and they literally stole that gun. The bitch, they got that gun from those people and put it in the vault, bitch. Like, oh my gosh. I think he put it in a suitcase instead of a vault, but still they kept that damn gun. So they probably do some shady business on the side, but to say they're part of a fucking cartel is crazy. Like, that's pushing it. No, if anything, they're probably like undercover superheroes. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they're not afraid to, end somebody's life if they're really getting too close to their true identities, but I don't think they go out their way to kill people. They could have easily killed those people in Blood Brothers, and they didn't. Daniel did not want to kill them, bro. Like, even though they had a gun pointed at Sean, he still did not kill them. Because I don't think that's their main objective. Their main objective is survival, not to, like, kill people and get money out of others. Like, no, they're just trying to live their best lives, bitch. Like, and this is crazy to say because it's not their best life. They're still grieving their father. They're in their father's land. And they've repaired his shop and everything. And yet there's still a gaping hole because their dad's dead. So it's like, they'll always have this undertone of sadness, but at least they have each other. So yeah. Anyways, let's read the response to that. They said, that's the thing though. These people don't actually know Sean and Daniel. This is all rumors. This could still be Blood Brothers ending. The cops treat Sean and Daniel as criminals, especially after what happened at the border. Of course, they're going to assume they're part of the cartel. True if you're taking it from an in-world perspective, but because we actually know the endings, we know it's not a rumor, and this is just Deck 9 pointing to one ending or another. Same with Alex not being in Haven Springs. Yes, there's also different endings. Alex is from Life is Strange True Colors, which comes after Life is Strange 2. So yes, each of Life is Strange games have different people with different endings. It's not just, let's follow along Max Caulfield's storyline. Now, I will say that in recent Life is Strange installments, I don't know why the hell I'm stuttering. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. In recent Life is Strange installments, it has been following Max Caulfield's storyline. You could just chalk it up to popularity because a lot of people love the first game, and, a lot of media has been spinning the block when it comes to their favorite 2010 games, babes. They've been doing this to movies too. It's like they don't want to make anything new. They want to bank on nostalgia, which kind of works majority of the time. This time though, a lot of people didn't like the follow-up with Max Caulfield's story. In fact, they hated it. They didn't like the follow-up due to the fact that it feels like it was made for money. It was made just to get money out of people. That's what it feels like. It feels soulless, if you will. The game's graphics are nice, but the way they move, the way they talk, the way they walk, a lot of fans don't like it. They just don't. And they missed Chloe. So guess what the company did? They brought back Chloe. Why did I say Chloe? What the fuck? They brought back Chloe. And fans loved it and hated it. Me, I like it a bit. No, I'm being a hater. I liked it. I don't mind these characters. They were some of the first characters I've seen, because I watched the first game first and it came out 2015. I was like, what? How old was I? Oh my gosh, I was like 13 when it came out. I was 12 going on 13 because my birthday's late. Yeah. And Life is Strange 2 came out, I was 16 going on 17 since my birthday's late. But yeah, it actually came out 2018. So I was 15 going on 16. So yeah. Anyways, let's go back to this because I'm just rambling on and on. The urban legend treatment has me think they're being vague on purpose, be it the mention of two teens crossing the border or boogeymen running a cartel. I think it's more like, well, I have a friend who's seen/heard XYZ, but considering the multiverse angle introduced, I generally think that one ending may have happened in one universe and another ending in another universe. Actually, I just had some food for thought. With the timeline merger, imagine a story where parting ways Sean meets... they're repeating their words. Meets Lone Wolf Daniel. Ooh, I like that. I bring this up because the ramifications of the timelines merging leave me with endless questions. Ooh, I like the way you think. Bro, parting ways Sean meeting Lone Wolf Daniel. Oh my gosh, the tears that would flow out of my eyes. Oh my gosh. Lone Wolf Daniel is the Daniel who tried to force both of them to cross the border, and it ended up with the cops shooting Sean, and like the stray bullet hit his neck and Sean died basically. So Lone Wolf ending is where the younger of the two brothers ends up in Mexico alone, having to fend for himself at just the age of 10 years old. Parting ways Sean is a Sean who tried to continue going through the border, but Daniel did not want to. So Daniel helped him go through the border, but Daniel also opened the car door and rolled out of the car as it was moving through the border. So he helped Sean cross the border and he stayed behind in the US. So yeah, I think that would be interesting. Parting ways, Sean is in Mexico. Like, he's just fending for his survival. Lone Wolf Daniel's fending for his survival in Mexico. Like, oh my gosh, the timeline's merging and they actually meet. Oh girl, like, ooh, I would like that. Why did I do that? Ooh. I believe it's actually is the canon ending, but it could be Lone Wolf though. Them using the word cartel icks me. It kind of has a racist undertone. It do have a racist undertone. Like, I don't really like that for real. They only did that because they're Latino. Like, that's racist as fuck to me. You know? The healing and mind control one on the bottom left corner being about someone who can heal melodies, but the people she heals joins her on a farm where nobody ever leaves. Cult shit in Texas ain't new though. First Waco. Oh my god, wait, I low-key have a story time about Waco. Me and my family went to Waco to visit my uncle and my aunt, you know, and I almost said my niece. Oh my god, my cousin. So we visited my uncle, my aunt, my cousin in Waco, Texas. Never been there, never even heard of Waco, Texas. We went to this one very delicious town. It was so good. It was still in Waco. It was like a miniature town damn near. Bro, the burgers, they tasted like they just grounded up the meat in the back. Like the cream soda, oh, it was orange cream soda. It was so good. The fries, oh my gosh. Not me talk about the food. See, I sound fat as fuck right now, but I gotta be honest with you, the food was so good. Oh my gosh, it was yum, scrumdiddlyumptious. Tell me why my family had a theory that this was being made by a cult. Everything, the way they dressed, they all dressed similarly. The way they talked about their Lord and Savior Christ, which I'm like, oh yeah, them being Christian, like, you know, my family went to church as well too. It was just the entire demeanor. Like, this is literally a little town inside of Waco. Like, oh yeah, no, this is a cult. Like, my family was like, yeah, this is a cult. But I'm like, if y'all think this is a cult, why the hell did we eat this food? Like, why did we eat this? Y'all gonna say they're a cult after we eat the food? The food was so good. I'm not gonna hold you. Did we think it was a cult because of the food? No, it was because of the other tones. But honestly, cult shit happening, when they mentioned Waco, I was like, yeah, I can believe it. I literally can't believe it. It's been years since I went there. I still remember that food to this day. It was so good. Oh my gosh, it was so good. But yeah, as much as I love the Wolf Brothers, I know Square Enix would never bring them back. Yeah. The only ones who would bring them back is Don't Nod. But Don't Nod, ever since they separated from Square Enix, it's just, I don't know. I don't want to say they won't have the budget. I just don't know how they'll be able to bring them back. Like, there's so many endings, so many variations of the endings too. Like, you could have an ending that's, let's say, parting ways, but the brothers are like on completely different spectrums of like care. Like, literally they hate each other. Like, you know what I mean? You can have parting ways and have them like be very close, or parting ways and have them be rather distant. You know what I mean? Like, that's a possibility. They still love each other, of course, but like they're not nearly as close. Like, you have different variations with each of the endings. It's crazy. It's so crazy. You know, there's some people who still don't believe you can have high morality Daniel but still end up with blood brothers. It's actually a possibility. It's a possibility. It's genuinely one. But yeah, it just takes a lot of effort. I don't think they'll come back either, sadly. Yeah. No, guys, I'm pretty sure that Crime Boss ending is Lone Wolf, not BB. In BB, Daniel got out and blew up the cars. Lone Wolf Daniel forced the car to drive through. Yes, he did. Sean and Daniel may or may not be criminals in BB, but they're not cartels. Like, bitch, no, for real. Keep in mind that this is all hearsay and rumors. None of these people actually know Sean or Daniel. They're just assuming the same people that flung cars around at the border are linked to the cartel because they all view them as criminals. This cartel thing isn't objective fact at all. Oh, true. I didn't think of it like that. Well, it makes more sense now because in any of the brothers being cartel leaders is so comically OOC, it's almost funny. No, literally. Okay, but Diamond searching up mining disasters out of all things is so forced. Literally. It would have made more sense if she was just Googling the names of the towns they were driving through and adding keywords to hopefully pull up some articles or local news. Oh my god, what do you mean almost did find? I guess not literally, but they searched for them with good leads but didn't pursue it very far. To be honest, Sophie would easily found out about Daniel's power if she kept investigating. It's clear the writers made her give up due to DE's backlash. Maybe the government covered up the border incident, but they left way too many hints with Pop Farm, Hospital, Haven Point, etc. Literally. This is so cool. I feel like the only one freaking out about this. Just seeing them reference Sean, Daniel, and Alice is just really cool. Kind of feels like the characters interacting in a way. This is a really cool find. I should have known they'd do more than just give us the keychain. Also gives me hope that we might get a proper follow-up on the Wolf Brothers. One can dream, right? Guess it confirms that at least Daniel went to Mexico. Sean's fate is left ambiguous. Possible it could be Blood Brothers or Lone Wolf. I wish this stuff was in Reunion rather than one phone call with Diamond. I don't know who these characters are. I don't know who Diamond is, bitch. I know. I keep saying Diamond. I don't know who Diamond is. In Lone Wolf ending, I just assume she's just one of the characters with either powers or just one of the friends of the recent characters in the recent games. In Lone Wolf ending, Daniel did not make those cars fly away. The only ending where Daniel made those cars flew is Blood Brothers. Do I want to keep talking about it? Oh my god, that telekinetic sentence is so confusing. What do you mean drive right through the barricade, but also cop cars are flying away? No, see? They did it on purpose. They don't want to confirm which ending. It makes me have a theory that the timelines are merging to where both of these are happening. I get why they couldn't do this because it would have clashed with the themes of choice and forced them to make more endings canonical, but this would have been a kick-ass game. Is Denny being canon? Ooh, I moved. I'm surprised D9 remembers. Of course they remember it. They avoided like the plague because they remember how unpopular it was. I love LIS too. I don't think that they're... See, this is all over my timeline on Twitter. I love it. I don't think that they are confirming or hinting that the Diaz brothers running a cartel. It's said here that the evidence, aka a rumor, they got is from an American pig, which is possible that the American pig think that they are connected to the cartel because they did crime. Stories get watered down the more people tell it. I heard who heard from. Also, Daniel has superpowers, Lo. If somebody told you that without seeing yourself, that rumor would get out of hand real quick. No, literally. It also kind of fits with what they went through in life. Yeah, it also kind of fits with what they went through in Life is Strange 2. They spent the entire game being on the run as basically murderers in the eye of the law. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, what else? I've been so confused why everyone is taking this at face value. The entire thing is stated to be a rumor from a guard at the border, not a trustworthy source on what the brothers would be up to. Because people... literacy. People have literacy problems. Really just says that Daniel uses telekinetic powers to cross the border. Nothing more. Somebody is running cartel. Two is whether or not it's Diaz brothers is up to debate. Also possible that Max's timeline shenanigans from DU would impact them as well because they passed through Arcadia Bay and the ruins of it. If Chloe and the Bay are restored, their experiences would be impacted as well. Leaves doors open, however complicated. Literally. Slight detour from the Diaz brothers. Poor Ivy is getting the hundreds of phone calls about how she can be in two places at the same time. No, yeah, it's definitely realistic to what's happening in Lone Wolf. I'm not saying it's not realistic, but I just want them to stay away from LIS too. I think you shouldn't define if it's racism or not. If you're not a Mexican person like OP, it's not our place to do that. Lone Wolf even hints at some kind of gang activity. Massacre. Yeah. Not him hanging up his Choco Crisp. Oh my god, I love Daniel. See, there's not much on the thing. When British Story is done, like every ending is set and done, this is where they end up. We must need to accept it and move on. I'm glad D9 didn't touch it. Though I wouldn't mind an in-between comic, Chris Dan in college, Sean in jail, them growing up in Lobos. I do not want to see Sean in jail. I'm good. I do not want to see him in jail, bitch. Also, I think people need to stop babying them in the low morality ending. I got attacked when I said this one day, but it's implied that they're not having the perfect life. LMD writers think they are. And this is why every ending is sad in their own way. It's literally canon. So it shouldn't be a debate if Sean and Daniel do illegal things in low morality endings. It's implied that they do. And I support them. I don't give a fuck. Why are people denying it? It makes sense to the story. Yeah. Do I want to continue this? Y'all can read this. Just pause the screen. There it goes. See, I'm lazy. I'm sorry. I'm so lazy. What's also upsetting about what Deck 9 wrote in that book is that Don't Nod were once asked which ending of LIS2 is canon. Their reply was, whichever one you get in your first playthrough. Now D9 has taken it upon themselves to canonize BB. Fuck you, D9. They didn't canonize it, though. And don't even get me started on how stereotypical it feels for them to imply Daniel became a cartel leader. I'm so pissed. Right, it is stereotypical and it's racist. But they didn't confirm it. They made it a rumor, which also still feels racist. Remember, they are the same company who shit all over Bay ending in the... We should despise their canon. Could be Lone Wolf too. Either way, the books are Titan's thing, so they're the ones that blame. And either way, that Keldon book is a book. Nowhere in DE nor Reunion is something like that mentioned. Book canon is separated. This is a lot. Hold on. I'm just looking at Twitter. It's been a while since I've been on my Twitter. Been a good minute. Other therapists say your feelings are always valid, your behavior is not. She explained by saying, feel what you feel, but you need to be accountable for what you do as a result of those feelings, period. Proper English fans, when I introduced them to the heavenly word of pure glee that is y'all, the fact there is no plural for you in English is annoying. Isn't you plural itself? Like, I was taught that you is already plural as it is. You're getting so much hate for being a bad language, and you can genuinely just pick up the basics and bullshit your way into being fluent by making your own words. That is how I learned the language. No, for real. Plural of you. You is plural. Yeah, you is literally plural. It's literally plural. What is this? This is the definition of looking out for your homies. Took his friend who was blind to a location where he can drive freely without worry. Oh, that's so cute. That's so nice. Oh yeah, if y'all didn't already know, they literally leaked the Avatar movie. Oh my gosh, bro. I was gonna wait until it becomes in theaters. I literally was gonna wait until it went to theaters. My African dad, after I skipped class to drive him to the hospital for surgery, I'm not really happy you did not go for your lecture today. This is your last year and you are playing with your future. Skip class to drive him to the hospital for surgery. Damn. Oh, okay. But if she had just not drove him to the hospital, he would have been upset. Okay. Remember when that reporter tried to attribute her discipline to her Japanese upbringing? She said, ma'am, I grew up with a Haitian father. This is why I've been loved Naomi Osaka. I love her so much. I love Naomi so much. She was enjoying her first moment of peace in months and then realized there's a reason for that. A plane was forced to make an abrupt turnaround after a passenger realized she forgot her baby at the terminal. What the fuck? She forgot her baby? A mother's instinct to know silence and peace are very unnatural states of emotion for them. Child. Ooh, man. If Hiruzen really mistreated or abandoned Naruto, why did Naruto admire him and still look up to him like a grandfather? Even if we read Hiruzen like that, the entire Hidden Leaf Village, with few exceptions, treated Naruto like trash from childhood, and he still risked his life over and over again to save him. Naruto's bottomless depths of compassion are not indicative of how anyone treats him. Oh, because Naruto's kind-hearted. He's our baby. That's our son. I actually can't believe a 16-year-old guy raped and killed his 18-year-old stepsister. And the comments are saying she's the rapist because he's a child who cannot consent. People see media literacy. People can't fucking read. People are dumb. People are genuinely dumb. We would avoid more situations if people actually use their brain. If people had a brain, shit. My coworker passed away yesterday, and they were about to fire him for not showing up. These jobs do not give a fuck about you, bro. Choose yourself. Yeah, pretty accurate. I love them. I love them. Not them changing their appearance once they notice that the other two mad. That's cute. Oh my gosh, I gotta follow this person. I already followed them. Oh, period. Girl, that scared the hell out of me. Hold on. I literally clicked out the video. That's crazy. I think that's it for the video. This was 30 minutes long. Thank y'all so much for watching. Wait, what does it say? Throwing a drink in a man's face is still a top of my bucket list. Watched a girl do this in a bar after he said he was married and didn't want her number. For some reason, she laughed hysterically afterwards with her girl. He waited until she was done laughing and then pulled out his badge. Off duty. Whole bar went, ooh. I can't. But anyways, that's really the end of it, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching, and may peace be with you for an eternity. Oh my gosh, for all the Life is Strange 2 people, don't be upset. It was just a rumor, okay? Deck 9 can't confirm it. They can try, but they won't succeed. Thank y'all so much for watching. May peace be with y'all for an eternity. Bye-bye.